What's up, everybody? What's up? It's the Straight Facts Show, Mr. Straight Facts Show. Um, Today, stocks continue to fall. Now, it was going up all throughout the day. And then, like I would say within an hour before, it was like 12 something, it started to take a dive. I thought it was going to pull up, and I was like, man, what is going on? Did they have something that was going on today? No, people were just, it's just fickle. It's really fickle. Nobody knows what's going on. Trump's people keeping them in the dark. They're telling them that they have 70 to or 50 to 70 people or countries rather that want to negotiate, but nobody knows any of these countries. Nobody has a clue. We have to trust them. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. I mean, I don't trust them as far as I can pick up an elephant. There's no way in hell I'm going to believe anything they say. They're trying their best to get the heat off of them. So they're going to say, oh, yeah, these people, and then try to bring up the stock. Hey, Lynn, how you doing? So that was what happened today. 349 points. It dropped a lot less than it did before. So I'm sure some people happy, other people are still pissed because they lost. Depends on how much money you have, I guess. When you think about it, a lot of CEOs are coming out and speaking. Republicans are coming out and speaking. In fact, hey Vera, how you doing? Hey Kat, Kate, I say Kat. Kate, how you doing? So when you go ahead and look at, thank you, Kate. We're gonna look at some things that were said today that had me chuckling. It made me laugh. I ain't gonna lie. I was drinking and I spit up when I heard this dude say what he said. I was like, did he really say that? And I was like, okay. There was a Republican. So I'm gonna let you guys check that out. We're gonna go through this video and have some fun with it. See if I can switch it over. Okay, cool. See if it actually lets you hear it. You hear it. I don't know if you guys are hearing it. For some reason, I'm not. Let me see why I'm not. Let's take it back. It's not on right now for some reason. Let's go back to it. The responses. There we go.
And that you are the trade rep. So if you own this decision, then I'll look to you to figure out if we're going to be successful. If you don't own the decision, I'm just trying to figure out whose throat I get to choke. If it's wrong.
That was funny to me. When I heard that, I cracked up. He said, whose throat I get to choke? These people are pissed off. They're losing money. I feel bad for people who are losing money. But you know what's so trip? I'm sorry, anybody who's losing money that are good people, because these people thought that you was going to get hurt, and they weren't. And it's not funny for those who are losing almost everything. These people still got money left. But because they're so greedy, losing some money, they feel like they're going broke. So if there's any kind of joy or happiness in this, it is that those who thought that everybody else was going to get destroyed and they were going to be fine, they're losing a lot of their money, and they're freaking out because of it. Now, I don't understand. If you may want to, help me understand if you know better than I do. How could you not see that if you were going to raise tariffs, that those are taxes? I don't know how many times this man, Trump, said he's going to raise taxes. And I don't know how many times people like me and others, and even people on the news that are savvy about any kind of like either investments or just the economy or just business, right? The Stephanie Rules, the different, the Catherine Rampels. I mean, all these different people who are out here screaming at the top of their lungs at every news station saying that these are tariffs. They're going to cost you money. And the American people who didn't listen to people like us are out here now like, why is this happening? It's like, dude, everybody except for your little bubble was telling you this. You can't raise tariffs and not think that people are going to be like not hurting. I mean, it's a tax. No, it's not. Yes, it is. We literally had to debate and fight with people about what it is. And it's like, look here, just read it. Just read it. I'll read it to you. I mean, when I did the lives, I said, I'll read it right now. This is what a tariff is. It's a tax on the American citizen. Now they're freaking out. They're freaking out. This dude said, who can I choke? Trump. Go choke Trump. What the hell? Who you think you can trust? Who do you think you can choke? That's the man that has wanted to do. He's been in love with tariffs since the 80s. Right? Love with tariffs in the 80s. And here's something you need to know about that. He was in love with tariffs in the 80s, but the reality is, even in the 80s, late 80s and 90s, again, we were using them just because we were still making stuff back then. So we were using them as a plus for us because we were manufacturing steel and things of that nature, right? So we had a strong hold, and we still do it now, but we had a large majority of the market manufacturing here. So we still had those corporations here. So during tariffs back then were beneficial to America. This man's still living in the 80s and 90s, even all the way back to 30s even. He's talking about 1800s to 1913 or 18 or something like that. I don't know what he's doing with that. But the idea is that this dude is thinking in the past like we still have a majority of that market. We do not. So he's still trying to throw tariffs. I'm like, they should have known this. Then you got Branson saying this is the moment to own up to a colossal mistake and change course. Otherwise, America will face ruin for years to come. I mean, this is pain on us. I get it. And it's just, to me, it's going to hurt me, but I already knew it was going to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? I already knew this. I already knew when they said they're going to throw tariffs on that I had to embrace the fact that there are going to be some harsh things that I'm not going to buy this, I'm not going to buy that in the next 4 years. And hopefully, if we don't let it turn into a dictatorship and he goes, or Satan comes and takes him back home, whatever it may be, I had to kind of brace for that, because you couldn't have never thought that what he was going to do was going to make America great. You had to really kind of understand, because every decade they was talking about taking you back to, black people didn't fare out well. Women, whether they were white, Latin, Asian, green, Martian, you didn't fare well in these 1800s and 1700s they're talking about taking us back to. So there's no way that you should have ever thought that this, what they were trying to go to, was ever a place that was going to benefit you. Not unless you was married to a white male, right? So, or even a white male who owned a home, or a white male who had a certain status, because still poor white people were going to get it. So the things they were talking about taking us to was just nonsensical. I couldn't even understand how people were really excited about not even his plan, his theory about what things should happen, that it was going to bring more money into the country. And I'm like, but if you're talking about tariffing everybody, the money is the money coming out of our pockets, going into the government, to the tax system, and then the government will grow bigger and bigger because they're taking more money out of our pockets. How is that a win for us? That means we're really getting taxed more, but not through like federal tax. We're getting taxed through the fact that, we're having to buy products that are higher. Therefore, the company's going to have to pay higher taxes to some degree, or take sales tax from us and make that money somehow. But still, they're going to charge us more for it. So we're losing. So how do we win? We don't. We're the losers in this process. The major losers. If you couldn't foresee that if this man kept doing what he was doing, now nobody knew that he was going to throw tariffs on everybody. This man said 24% or 25% on China that he was going to do. First he said like 10%, then there's another 10%. It was like a 15 and 25. But we were thinking just maybe 4 places. This fool said everywhere. After he did that, I'm telling you, these billionaires and billionaires had no clue that this man was talking about across the board doing everybody the same. Even little Penguin Island. It's kind of funny. I mean, it's sad but funny at the same time that these billionaires are freaking out And it's like, dude, we told you. We told you. I don't understand why they didn't understand what we were saying. I mean, it's just logical. But one of the things I think that these billionaires thought, because Donald Trump was so, and still is, billionaire centric, they thought that he was going to just bring these things back and offer them all kind of, cutbacks, and, they were going to get these tax cuts and all this other stuff like that. So they just thought they were just going to make out like bandits, and the people that were going to hurt were me and you, not them. When they heard temporary pain, they figured, oh, okay, he's just going to do, he's going to do it in a smart way. These people are business people. They literally thought he was going to do like one country at a time, maybe 3 of the big ones, the top 5 ones maybe. Not every last one of them. Because you got to understand something. The last negotiation we had was the USMCA, which took over NAFTA, right? 1994, and then Donald Trump did it on 2017, something like that, 18. It took till 2000, almost 2020, around there to be able to pass it. So it took about 2 years to pass the USMCA, which they thought was the best deal. And that was between, again, Canada, US, and Mexico. And so with 3 countries, it took 2 years to make a deal. Now we're going to talk about making deals with every country. It makes no sense. You think they're just going to all capitulate? Okay, whatever you want, Trump. No, it's called negotiation. And if you're going to negotiate, you got to renegotiate with all these countries? Are they going to all be under the same? And the thing is, they can't be under the same umbrella. You got to think about it. One of the things that they don't really explain is that each country, we have either a trade deficit or trade surplus with, right? So there are countries where we actually trade with them more than they trade with us. And then they don't even explain to you what a trade deficit is. It sounds like, our deficit where we owe more money than we bring in. It's not even that. It's not even that. The thing of it being a trade deficit, and this is what I get, like, I yell at the screen when I see people discuss this like on the news. I'm like, would you please explain it so that people who don't know, like a 8th grader could understand. Quit explaining it, making it sound like we're losing out. But in a trade deficit, that's why I like Stephanie Rule when she's explaining it. She does it very well. It's like, if I am going to have, let's say this is what America wanted to do. We're going to do what America did in NAFTA. They knew that there was going to be a trade deficit. They counted on there being a trade deficit. Why? Because what they were doing was, we were going to send our manufacturers over there, 100%. We're going to try and send every last one of them over there. Not everyone that we could. We're going to master some of them, but other ones we're just going to send over there. Our cars, different products, anything from toasters to certain parts of our ovens and all that, right? Converters, all that. We knew we were going to send it over there because it cost us like, a few $100s to make. They would make it over there for like $2 a day, right? So they knew that they were going to have a trade deficit. We were going to be sending a lot over there. They weren't going to be sending a lot over here. What they were going to be sending us was products for cheap. And then we would sell said product. We'd buy it from them for $1.50 a unit and bring it over here and sell it for $150, $350, $600 because we knew that Americans will pay, right? So we end up buying all these products from them, but they're not making any money really. They're getting like $2 for each product, whatever it may be. And we're selling them for $600, $300, $150, $1,200. So we're making more money. We're making more money, but trading more. So we have a trade deficit with them because they're not accepting a lot of stuff from us. We're not accepting a lot of stuff from them coming into our country, but we're sending them a lot of stuff, right? So in that situation, we end up winning, even though we have a trade deficit. We win, right? So sending them a bunch of things, them sending us products, sending them the manufacturers, and them sending us the products, we're making more money off of that, even though it's a trade deficit. That's all they cared about, these billionaires, was making a lot of money. until places like China, Mexico, South Korea, they started making their own products. And I think yesterday I mislabeled something. I said Samsung was Japanese. It's actually Korean. But so Korean Samsung, and we was talking about how the phones were better, Samsung. That is how Samsung beat us out. See, America, what they're trying to do, Trump is trying to do, these Republicans and billionaires are trying to do, is cheat. It's cheat. What they did to the rest of America, like see, after World War II, as far as like manufacturing, we were like leaders, big time leaders. We owned like 50% of the market, right? Manufacturing 50% of things in the United States and throughout the world. We were one of the top, manufacturers. And then these billionaires figured out, if we send it over there for slave wages, we can make a lot of money. We don't have to be working so hard. Plus, we're paying these union people a lot of money. They're buying houses. They're doing this, that, and the third. Cars. They're getting wealthy off of us. We want to squeeze as much money as we can out of this, right? That's what it was all about. Let's squeeze as much money as we can out of this. And in so doing, they squeezed all this money out of it and said, let's send it over to these different countries, Canada, Mexico, and other places, Korea, all over. So our plan was, because we had the market, we got so greedy, we got so like uppity, we thought that we're going to always be in front of them because we're sending them stuff and they're sending it back to us and we're selling it for way more than what they're buying it from us for. So we're going to basically keep them poor by giving them slave wages. And then we will make the most money and always be in front. But what happened is these countries started to invest in themselves. America didn't. Whenever we did these tax cuts and tax breaks, hundreds of billions of dollars over the years, if not trillions, have been bought back in stocks, right? They get the money and go back in stocks. What did China do? They got the money and reinvested in infrastructure. Like they started building manufacturing companies that were new age, that can make a shoe in seconds. Therefore, the little shit money that we were sending them went a long way. Because now they can make it for real cheap and still charge us and make a profit off of giving them $2 a day. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So they had to reinvent themselves to be able to compete. And that's exactly what they did. America just thought that they were just a shit. Don't have to go and do anything. They're never going to catch up with us. We took our foot off the gas and they started creating technology, the Samsung and different other things and new industries, biotech, all this other stuff on the side while making us our things and also stealing our patents and selling some of the products cheaper. And so they started to grow and America didn't know how. How are they growing? We should be ahead of them. Why would you be ahead of them if you're not reinvesting in your people? They were teaching their children all kinds of technical things that actually made money. How to code, how to make drones, how to make, computer chips. All these kids were learning these things. Not that they was always working in a factory or anything like that. They were learning these in school. Learning them about things that was going to take them places. So by the time they got out of school, they knew the things that make money to make a living. Our kids had their finger in their nose, wondering what the hell they're going to do. Should I go to college? Should I not? Our country did not prepare us. Our country wants to keep us dumb. Think about what they're doing right now, getting rid of the Department of Education, which is going to make our kids even less smart, which should let you know that they're focused on our kids going back to the age of industrialization. They're trying to focus our kids on going back to the factory and working until they're retired, but this time without a pension, this time without a union, this time just enslavement, so to speak. Our kids are going to end up having jobs that don't pay worth a damn while everything costs too much for them to live. That's the only way we can compete with them really fast. There's no other way to do it. How else will we be able to do it? We don't have the money or the education to be able to do those types of things that they already have in place. They've already developed these things. They already got these things rolling. I mean, all they got to do is go to work, turn on the machine, and make 5,000 items. We got to sit here and think about how to build the technology that will make it even happen or even possible anymore. So we're light years behind. You think we're going to catch up? How? Their kids know how to do the jobs that they talk about bringing here. Their kids are understanding the technology while our kids would have to be taught it. How are we catching up that way? Like I said, we always got to reinvent. And that's what most of the time, not most of the time, all of the time, that's what Democrats are talking about. That's what progressives are talking about. That's what independents are talking about. It's always Republicans trying to take everybody back, and billionaires trying to take everybody back to the Stone Ages so that they can make a crap ton of profit while we still have this worker bee mentality. We just collect the check, they collect yachts. We're we live in check to check. They're living from country to country in one day. Get on a jet, be in Belarus, to be in, any other country in a day. Maybe 2 countries in a day, having a good time, buying gold and having a great time while we're working day to day. And they want to keep us in that position of us continually working day to day and barely getting by while they're getting rich with the products that we build. Ladies and gentlemen, do you not realize these people can't become billionaires without our labor, without our knowledge? We're the one that's toiling around, fixing things, building things that they sell for hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, and we get pennies for each one of them. We barely make anything, and they get rich off of it. And then they tell us, like, oh, you guys should be privileged to be able to work these slave wages and barely get anything out of it. That's why I said the people need to, like, wake up and start realizing how much they're valued. These machines turn off, they go broke. Shit, we already live in check to check. If we're going to go broke, we're going to go broke. That's how it's going to go, right? So I'm just sitting here thinking, like, so what we're going to do is be able, I can't believe this, I'm trying to listen, I got this noise coming on. But we're trying our best to figure out how we're going to live day by day. And they're out here living, the world is just like their oyster, right? And we're just sitting here doing our absolute best. But they need us. They need us. There's no way they can make it without us. And they keep on doing the same things and expecting us to continue to capitulate to them. So we have to figure out a way to be able to break these billionaires down. I'm working on one way right now. I'll talk about it. I'm probably going to talk about it more in our meetings when we start to have member meetings to see how people are down to, like, trying to revamp the way industry and the economy works, because we can't continue being in a position where we're always losing and they're always winning. We're always trying to build something and they're, we're building stuff for them and we get nothing out of it. So I'm trying to reinvent that whole thing, and I'll keep you guys abreast of that, because again, if we're not innovating, we're going backwards, and they want to go backwards. We're not going to have our kids working, in factories at 12, 13, 14 years old and not really have a future. I mean, think about that. They're trying to get 14-year-olds to be able to work overnight in some of these states in the United States, Republicans. Why would you want a 14-year-old child working overnight when they got school the next day? It tells you they're devaluing their education. And what does that do? You got to think about the way they think. They're trying to take your kids back to an age of the 30s when your kids were, when we had a depression and your kids were dropping out of school. The kids were dropping out of school and they were going out working for pennies, washing people's windows and cars and seeping through trash cans and shit to find stuff. That's the way they try to take us back to. If you're talking about those times and those eras, this fool said 1800s to 1930 or some shit like that. That was during the Depression. I mean, who thinks of that era being something that was great or grand for the majority of Americans? Everybody was broke. Rich people aren't ones who were rich. They were doing things. They were actually owning a bunch of things. So I don't understand how they want to go back to something like that. That's just odd to me. Very odd. But I'm being aware of it and knowing that we create their billions. They're sitting on their butts collecting, $30 million checks as CEOs, while we're sitting here building whatever it is, the technology, the content, the car, the whatever, and we're sitting here getting nothing from each car. We're getting paid a certain amount they have a budget for, and then for each car they sell it, and we're busting butt, and everything comes out to be great, and they're making hand over fist and giving their CEO, oh, you're working them so hard. Here's an extra $30 million for you to go and spend. And that's just a bonus on top of your $50 million a year contract with us. Here's your 30 million because you really produced. You mean tell me you whipped these people to fucking do whatever you want them to do and made them work as a quota to build more cars, more whatever, and they don't get a bonus? You do? No. We got to start changing that. That's how we keep getting used, I believe, in this country. So I'm working on something with that, and I'll let you know about it. I've been working on it for a few months now. And this is for all people to be able to start focusing on how we can be more people-centric, people-powered, and how we can leave the billionaires behind and start creating wealth ourselves. If we're going to start and bring back manufacturing into this country, it should be the people making the most money. It shouldn't be organized that there's one billionaire that's doing it all, making it all rather, while everybody does all the work. So I'm trying to revamp that and see how it works. And when I develop a model for it, I'll discuss it in the membership meetings, things of that nature. Okay, we're going to continue with some of these quotes that, like I said, that had me perplexed. I was like, man, this is crazy. Let me get back over here. The next one that came up from Richard Branson was this guy right here. This guy is Ken Langone. He's worth $8.4 billion. He's a businessman. And yeah, he was ticked, you might think. He said GOP, he's a mega donor. He's a Trumper. He voted for Trump. Thought his ideas was great. Here's the thing. You are a billionaire. I'm trying to figure out, where did you ever hear anything come out of this man's mouth during his debates? Not even debates, his rallies, that he was going to do something good for business people. I mean, this is the thing. There must have been huge conversations behind the scenes where these people were gaslit, because from the outside looking in, this man was telling the entire world that he was going to tariff, right? He was going to play with a bunch of tariffs, which meant people were going to lose money. Now, the businesses, they were going to pass it on to us. So they were like, okay, they're going to win. The billionaires will still win because we got to buy the product. They're going to have to buy it for more, but they're going to charge us more for it. There was a lose for us, and it was a win for them, right? And so they didn't realize that they were going to lose. And I don't understand how these billionaires did not think, okay, he's going to throw tariffs on and that we're going to have to pay this tax. And you guys got some of your MAGA minions believing that that's going to bring in a lot of revenue to the country, but not out of the pockets of the actual person who's importing it. I mean, it's exporting from their country and importing it to us. It's actually not the exporter. It's actually the importer that's going to have to pay more, and the actual people, right, that you got to buy from and sell it to, and that's going to be Americans. So how are you going to win? You should have known throwing tariffs on was going to get countries charging us reverse tariffs, so we have to pay. Our products would be more going over there, and the people don't want to buy our products, so our product sales would probably go down. You would think, right? To retaliate, these people thought these other countries are going to capitulate. They're just gonna fall apart. They ain't gonna have no reciprocal. They're just gonna take what we say and say, thank you, can I have another? And that's why they're tripping. Like, you mean to tell me they want reciprocal? That's not good. Who would want to do that? Any country that has like guts, that has morals or respect for themselves, like Canada, is gonna sit here and say, like, you're the EU, we're not gonna get bullied by you, bro. Wait, what are you talking about? Those days are gone. And that's what Donald Trump, his old ass is living in the days where you can just, bully the hell out of people and then they capitulate. Now they're not doing it. The only people that have capitulated in some way to Trump is, he didn't even throw nothing on Putin. So he didn't even force him to do anything. But Bibi Netanyahu comes here. Again, 22. On the list of countries, he's at 22. 1 through 5 ain't thinking nothing about 22. So yeah, that fool giving y'all a few $100 billion. We up in the trillions with y'all. Forget them. You know what I'm saying? Forget them. We ain't moving because of them. You get one of these top 5 to move, you might get something going. But they're trying their best to force people to think that something's moving with these bottom half people. And if that moves, maybe somebody at the top will move. Ain't nobody at the top moving. So now these billionaires are pissed. This man says he's a GOP donor, love Trump. He's raging, saying Trump's tariffs are bullshit. He's so mad. He said they're bullshit. Look at that. It's a big change, huge change for these people to go from saying, these things are going to work out. Donald Trump knows better, not Kamala Harris. Now, Kamala didn't say anything. She was saying for us to go after these people who are gouging so that they would benefit us. Rich people have to pay their fair share. Ain't nothing wrong with that. They're still going to be billionaires. They're not really losing, right? Exactly. But they thought they was going to win. And the thing is, she would have kept with the market going up and up and up and up, because she wouldn't have made no change on the economy situation, or very little change, which would have gave them an opportunity to continue moving upward with the economy. Our economy was moving up. She would have kept those same situations going on that would have made it a better situation for Americans and their families. You wouldn't be seeing no drop in your 401k. You wouldn't be seeing none of that, because again, there was no need to throw these tariffs on. There was no need for it. There's no reason for this organization, for this country rather, to start to fall in free fall. If it isn't broke, why are you trying to fix it? This man's trying to go back to a time where he thought, oh man, back in the 80s, I would love to throw in tariffs. Well, it's back in the 80s, dude. Quit living in the past. We have a new market now. Those industries in the 80s and 90s are gone. Your dreams of grandeur of stuff from 1980, 1992, 1994, why the hell are you even speaking about that shit? We are in the 2025 market. And you can tell by the way the market is acting, it doesn't want to go back to 1994 or 1984 either. So I don't understand how any of these people are allowing this. And what's happening, you're starting to see these billionaires freak out. They're like, what is going on with this dude? I voted for him, but this ain't it. This is not it. So this guy right here is Ken Langone, worth $8.4 billion. And this guy is Ken Griffin. He's worth $40 billion, 40.1 to be exact. He's a hedge fund manager. Now this guy is calling on saying, again, like the other guy, just say you made a mistake. He's willing to forgive and let bygones be bygones. He's like, yo, man, just tell him you made a mistake and we can keep it moving. I ain't even gonna be mad. What I lost already, it hurts, but I'm cool if you pull the plug right now, bruh. He has got to know Trump does not turn around, nor does he admit he's wrong. We all know that. Trump is never going to admit he made a mistake. And now he's trying to say, you're hurting the middle class, like you care about the middle class. You're part of the group that wants to make 14-year-olds work on the weekends or overnight. He's a Republican, voted for Trump, knowing that these are the plans that they wanted to have. He just didn't think that Donald Trump was going to throw tariffs on everybody and their mama at once, therefore spiraling the economy. And that's what they're afraid of. Because the more they lose, they can probably eat this amount that they're losing. But they understand as it goes down and down and down, just like a plane, once you go down and down and down, it's hard to pull up. If you're too close to the ground, it's hard to pull up. It'll be a crash. When you're pulling your butt off, and it's hard to do. And that's what they're worried about, getting so close to the bottom that they can't pull up and it'll just completely crash. And these people will lose their net worths. They will still be rich, but they'll be way down at the bottom of wealth. They won't be exactly what they've built. And the thing is that people who have amassed this type of money are greedy, y'all. They are greedy. Every fucking penny counts. I mean, I promise you, many of them, the only time they spend money is when that thing can make them more money. Most of the times when they buy yachts, it's just to prove to another person or a few people that, hey, come on to the yacht, have a good time, we'll do business on the yacht. They go in and make a fucking like $2 billion deal, and then they don't see their yacht for another 3 months before another deal happens. They ain't on their yacht enjoying themselves. They on their yacht doing business. That's to impress people that they want to do business with, to get more money out of. It ain't like they going on there having a party, having a good time themselves. It is business on business on business. Everybody that they run into is an opportunity to make more money. They wake up thinking about money. They go to sleep thinking about money. And so them losing billions of dollars, oh, you know they freaking out. So we're going to look at the next. Now, this is Ken Griffin. He said that, he wanted him to just pull up. Just pull up, man. Chill out. You voted for this idiot. You know damn well he can't do that. See what else we got going for it. After him. Oh, this thing right here. This was this is Elon Musk having a fight, verbal fight with Navarro. Peter Navarro. Yo, did you hear that Peter Navarro, he wrote a book on economy, on finances and things like that. And he said he got all of his education and knowledge from this Mr. Somebody, right? He made a name up. And it turned out all there was an anagram of his own name. There's no such person. In his book, it literally talks about all this stuff he learned from this really smart person, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out the person he's talking about is him. But he gave it, he took his name, Navarro, and moved it around and made a person's name. That was crazy. That I was like, yo, these people have no shame. They have no shame. It's like the devil is their best friend. So Peter Navarro, I guess, said something about Elon was he wasn't a car manufacturer. He was like a person who just put cars together type of thing. And this dude said Elon Musk calls Peter Navarro dumber than a sack of bricks. Called him a moron as far as trade goes. I agree with both of them. Both of them morons. It's just insane. But I was laughing my butt off when I saw him and Navarro going at it. Because again, this man right here, Elon Musk, lost, since Trump got into office, this man has lost $130 billion. Now this is Navarro. Now Navarro, he wrote on X. I don't know why these people are doing like actual work, government work on X, or at least explaining government work on X. He explained on X about how these tariffs were permanent and it wasn't like negotiable. Well, Donald Trump literally said that they are negotiable. They're the greatest thing for negotiation. Tariffs are the reason why you negotiate. So they're totally at odds. This man's literally saying, no, we don't negotiate. It's going to always be this way. This is the way it is. So how is it that Donald Trump and him are on different planes and Trump's the president, he's the one supposed to have this together? We understand this is all Project 2025. And Project 2025 has its agenda, and Donald Trump just accepted that agenda. He didn't read it. So what they're doing behind the scenes is not exactly what Donald Trump actually is asking for. They're making it permanent. Donald Trump always wanted tariffs so that he can negotiate. That was his thing. I'm a good negotiator. Even he's a crap negotiator, but that was his thing. So they ended up taking down Peter Navarro's message on X because, again, it's not what Donald Trump wants. He's trying to negotiate with these, and Navarro is trying to make them permanent, put pain on people, and bring back manufacturing to America and make sure everybody else hurts. These people are dense and maniacal, to be honest. Like, why are you trying to put so much pain on other people? These people are our allies. For the most part, most of these people are our allies.
This is not what people voted for. I know people that voted for Donald Trump. This is not what they voted for.
I went to a county that Trump won by 20 points. Hundreds of people showing up and saying, I'm a Republican. I voted for Trump, and this is not what I voted for.
I vote for Trump and is not what I vote for.
It's not what I vote for. Now, here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. These people came out and said this is not what they voted for. I beg to differ. Donald Trump, if anything, he'll tell you what he's doing. Even if it's projection and he's trying to tell you somebody else is doing it, you still hear it on the stage. And if you're smart enough or not in a cult, you realize he's talking about himself, right? If you've been watching me for a minute, you've seen me do these videos about Trump, whether it's Trump Whisperer translating stupid or straight facts, no chaser, fuck your feelings. I've done those for years, explaining away, even though in comic sense, I was being funny in many ways, but I was really kind of being factual within the funny of how this man thinks. Things that he says he's really talking about. Like when he did the poem of the snake. I let people know right then and there. Donald Trump is a snake in this story, ladies and gentlemen. He's talking about everybody in here listening to him at this rally. When he's telling that story, he's talking about all y'all. Y'all are close to the snake, which is Donald Trump. And he's going to bite the hell out of y'all. But he's saying it in a way that gets you all riled up and excited because you think he's talking about the libs or the Democrats or whatever. You don't think he's talking about you. And if anything they should be learning right now is they have been bitten. And it is continually going to be a situation where he's going to continue biting more and more and more. They're going to realize his bite is poisonous. A lot of them are starting to realize it now. This is not what I voted for. Please explain to us. And this is where when people say stuff like that, I'm like, don't stop the interview there. Ask them the question, what did you vote for? Were you expecting this pain to be pushed on liberals and Democrats and not all Americans? Please explain to me how they were going to find out that me working at said factory was a Democrat or Republican. Please explain to me how, me working at another company, how is that going to be that they're going to get me a liberal? How do they know I'm liberal? They don't. So how was any of the stuff that you had hatred for these libs ever going to affect just them if you can't tell one from the other? Oh, I get it. Race. They thought they wouldn't mess with their race. They would mess with black people or brown people and leave white people alone. So that's what I think they thought. Because otherwise, how would you know the difference? How would you know the difference whether it's going to be my job? Even people who were working in the government, they said, oh, I got fired. And Donald Trump, I voted for him. I didn't think he'd get me. I'm like, he said he was cutting back the government. FBI, CIA, they've been like demonizing them for years so that Donald Trump wouldn't go to jail. So how did you not think they weren't coming for you? Or at least your jobs? Because again, nobody knows you voted for Trump. So how is it that you're going to be saved if he doesn't know you're a Trumper? It gave like, you didn't think this through vibes. You're not thinking this through. And that's exactly what they did. Thank you, Father on Fire. Appreciate you. How can I find you're going live to post on our Discord? Would you like to have us as your official Discord? Oh, thanks, man. Let me think on that. I'll let you know about it as soon as I get finished the show. I should have your information. But thanks for the gift. But yeah, so how would you know? Of course, everything he was saying, I don't know why you didn't attach it to yourself. Because there was no way to divide you. I mean, were you going to come to work in your Trump outfit? Your little Trump onesie? And they were going to know, oh, that's Trump right there. Got to keep him or her. Was there a tattoo for Trump or something that kept you out of the fray? I mean, it just made no sense. He was talking about American people doing this too, not just, liberals. He brought their names up to give you all this anger and hatred, to let you kind of feel that for a moment. But the implementation is what you should have been asking yourself. How's he going to implement this? How's he going to know me from them? I mean, I don't wear my two hats all the time. That goes back, two hats. I used to do a video on them called Two Hats, because they wore two hats to his rallies. I why they got two hats on? But I'm sitting there like, I don't know how they thought that. But people were upset, and they're like, marching and saying that I was for Trump. Now, Trump and his close circle, Republicans, are literally trying to say these people out in the streets are Democrats. And now that there's these people, before, these people were just being mad and angry and asking questions. They were going to the town halls in highly Republican areas, and Trump and his minions were all like, hey, these are Democrats coming out, liberals coming out. I'm sure there's some liberals and Democrats living in that community, but they couldn't get away with that now, because these people are coming out now and saying specifically, I'm a Republican. They had to, because they were being discounted and called liberals, and they can't stand liberals for the most part. So now they're coming out and saying, I'm Republican, and I voted for him. I didn't want this. So now you're starting to see these, I would say, some of these senators speaking up, saying that, my constituents are losing their 401k, their retirement, because there are a lot of people close to retirement. They don't have 20 years or 30 years or 15 or whatever for it to bounce back. That Donald Trump is always saying, you're going to get tired of winning. You're going to get tired of winning. Are they tired of winning yet? Because they've been in the loser circle for a minute. Elon Musk, he lost $130 billion since Trump took office. His companies are kind of flailing. I ain't gonna say they're failing, but they're flailing. And a lot of the stock owners are like, hey, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? You gonna get back to work? This is with this Doge stuff going on. You're gonna get back here and trying to get this stuff back on track? Because they got callbacks, they got people setting stuff on fire, and a lot of people returning their vehicles. So there's a lot going on. Jeff Bezos, since Trump took office January 21st, he's lost $45 billion. Mark Zuckerberg has lost $28 billion. I know these billions don't sound like, for them much, because they got they're worth $100 billion here and $300 billion there and all that. But like I said, losing these amount of billions is not like losing $25 for us. They're losing, and you can tell how much it's hurting them and affecting them by how many of them are coming out and speaking. Elon Musk is even setting up meetings trying to get to Donald Trump through X. And I'm like, I thought you was with Doge. I thought you had the straight dial. You know what I'm saying? You just hit him up and be like, hey, Trump. And he ain't even try to get to Trump straight direct. He tried to go on X and send messages and shit. These little cryptic people be killing me. But that's how they're trying to achieve their specific goal, is to get Trump to drop out. But Trump's like, nah, I ain't listening. And now they think he's gone rogue. Remember, they wouldn't say nothing about Trump during his run for campaign for the president. The billionaires didn't come out. They just threw money at him. And now they're starting to realize that he's killing their portfolios. And it's not just them, because a lot of these people manage money and they're losing their partners and people money. And they're the ones who got them to buy into Trump. They're the ones who went and got the pitch from Trump and then went and got their billionaire friends and said, yo, you need to invest in this because Trump is going to, he's going to bring back basically the slave class. We're going to have these young kids doing the work in the computers. We're just going to make money hand over fist. Americans don't know that, but we know it, the billionaires. But they had no idea they were going to have to lose a lot of money to be able to try and get that off the ground. And there isn't a guarantee that any of it will work. It's just a gamble. And they love to gamble. But this has become so like to them, amongst them, listening to a lot of the finance people who said they're speaking to the executives, they're scared. They're literally scared. Some of them are just highly pissed. Others are scared because they don't know where this is going. And they know that negotiations takes years. They've all negotiated in some way, shape, or form to get contracts with the government, to get contracts with the state and local, to get, to be able to get a contract with a larger or a bigger billionaire or, another firm, investment firm. So they know it takes a minute. And if the economy keeps, and all they need is some security. To be honest right now, ladies, all they really need to do, Trump and his people, is to come and give these rich people a plan. Like, oh yeah, we got this. Yeah, we're gonna bring it down low, and then we're gonna start, negotiating. Then bring the tariffs off of the different states and everything like that, or countries that agree to our terms. And then we're gonna be doing that, and we suspect it to be 6 weeks for this and 3 weeks for that. They give them some type of certainty, something to look forward to. The stock market will go back up. As you can see, just the idea they came out with a text that said that Donald Trump was going to negotiate with something or whatever, and the market shot up just from a text, but it was a fake text. It shot up without even having validity for the damn text. Just the idea that they were just on pins and needles, that they hear something that will change their life, some kind of certainty. So these people are not new. Scott Bessent, these people aren't new to the economy, to being an economist, and they're not new to this. So there's a structure, there's a strategy here. And the billionaires are pissed off that they're being left out of this strategy. They don't know what they're doing. And me, myself, like I said from the very beginning, I think he's trying to take it to a dictatorship. He's literally trying to get everybody dependent on him so that when he does let it up, everybody just, yay, they give him all these accolades like he saved America, when he's the one who actually put it into free fall. Because that's just Trump. He just loves the accolades of fixing something, but acting like he wasn't the one that fucked it up to begin with. That's just his MO. Thanks again. Have you watched the China troll on Americans? Oh, no. What's going on? All I know is like what the Chinese are saying. Basically, he raises up because tonight, in about 5 hours, it's 6:17 my time. So I think it's midnight. At midnight, Trump's supposed to be putting 105% tariffs, and I don't know if it's just China, but I believe it is. And China's like, well, we'll just match it. I mean, come on, we're gonna stick this through. We ain't gonna sit here and get bullied by y'all. If you want a deal, let's talk. But I'm not just gonna jump. But I haven't seen anything today other than the fact that the 104, 105 is going on at midnight. So I'm gonna check that out once I get off. Let me see if I can probably find something here in a second. See if China's saying what they're saying. Yeah, I gotta see where that's at because I haven't seen it. But yeah, they're just, like I said, the reason why all of this is happening is America slept on manufacturing, on the trade deal. We were light years ahead of any country. Back after World War II, we had 50% of the market as far as manufacturing goes. Everybody was coming to us. But then around 1990, late 80s, they started talking about it. 94, when they signed that NAFTA, we sent all of these manufacturing companies because we thought that we was going to be able to make more money and have them become basically slave labor. We got an entire country because in this country, we got all these rules and laws and regulations. We can't treat certain people a certain way. We can't hire kids under, because the law was 15 and a half before you can even get a job, a legal job. So this country, like 15 and a half years old, we need to get kids who are younger so that we can pay them less. They're living with their parents, and we can just add a little more money into their household, but have their kids working these like slave laborers. We ain't gonna pay them minimum wage, we'll pay them lower. And so these are the types of things that we would like sending them over there because their kids are getting paid 50 cents a day. The parents are getting paid $1.50. So it's $2 a day for a family. They're living it up, and we're selling the product for $60, $100, $600. We're just gonna keep them in slave labor forever. And they didn't realize these countries started thinking, we're losing all the damn time. How can we win? And then they started investing in their people. In America, what we do, give tax cuts, and these rich people kept investing in themselves, not in the American people. And you can kind of look at it, just look at the time, even in my lifespan, when I went to school, we had trade schools within our high schools. That shit disappeared from most schools. We were taught to do, build houses, to air conditioning for those homes. We were taught how to build cars, how to fix cars. We were taught computer programming. We were taught chef stuff. We was taught, woodworking. We were taught all kind of trades just in school curriculum. You know what I'm saying? It was just in school curriculum. Like, oh yeah, you got to go to shop. You got to go to this. So we was taught different things, which were careers at that time, not just jobs, careers to be able to go to. Because there were factories that had these, you could be a master, woodworker or whatever. So there's so many, build homes and, real estate, get into how not only were the kids taught how to build these homes, and a lot of these homes in the neighborhoods that they had near our school were built from the foundation to the actual, everything finished by the students, right? And then the school would sell it, make money off of it. It was just insane how we actually helped our, youth actually have opportunities. Not every school did this, of course, but I had that opportunity in the school that I went to. And nowadays, it's like, you'd be lucky to get out just knowing, the basics of life. No trade, just whatever you was interested in. If you decided to go into, computer programming, they had computer programming classes that taught you certain things, but only so much. Not like you can just build your own computer. You can build your own website, but you wouldn't be able to build no apps or anything of that nature. Those things weren't available. They have taken most of this stuff out of our schools. So now our kids are being taught, and some of them have computers in their classes and all kinds of different things that they can use. Technology is there, but are they being taught in all these schools how to do it, or even most of the schools, how to build it, how to fix certain things, how to write programs? Some schools I've seen in the past, last decade that I've seen, they were mostly charter schools, not public schools. The charter schools I saw had a lot of this technology, which I was just in awe of. I'm like, wow, they're being taught some of the things, but the public schools did not, that I was around in LA. So we don't have those things, and that's what these billionaires are really relying on. So now that they're getting all pissed off because the plan was really to fuck everybody else, not them, they're getting squeezed in it. And they're like, wait a minute, this is not what we signed up for. How about the billionaires that are pissed off right now? Why don't you reflect on why did you even join with Donald Trump to begin with? Because these are the things he said he was going to do. That's why people like me was screaming, run away from this freak as fast as possible. It wasn't because I don't like Donald Trump. I don't know Donald Trump. I listen to Donald Trump. And by listening to him, I know he's no good. And by the courts and by the people that he's attacked in their testimonies, I'm like, if one or two made a complaint about him, I could say, it's probably thousands, ran into, one or two, and maybe yes, maybe no. Everybody who's worked with this man has issues with this man. Even in his first presidency, people who worked with him was like, dude, that left, he's stupid, he's a nitwit, he's a bumbling idiot. You can't tell me that all of them, the vast many, are the problem, and the dude they're talking about is always not the problem. I mean, how slow do you have to be? They're billionaires, but how slow do you have to be to not pay attention that millionaires, billionaires, and even broke people can't stand this man because of their experiences with this man? I mean, having a nonprofit where you're trying to help people and you're taking the money and buying silly shit, pictures of yourself for like, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars, having it on the wall. What the hell does that have to do with your organization that you're not nothing? That should let you know, using it as his personal piggy bank so much that he can't own a nonprofit, at least in New York. I want to say ever, but at least in New York. And then have a school where he was teaching people absolutely nothing, that he had to pay $25 million because it was a fraud. And you guys still couldn't see that? Come on. Ain't nobody that crazy. Ain't nobody that blind. So I don't know what. I know the billionaires it was greed. But the average folk, I don't see how you bypass the laws, you bypass. And it wasn't even just black people that was having this. He was robbing, white people left and right. How many white people that came forward when he was running for president the last time saying that, and it wasn't even the dads or moms, it was the kids of the dads and moms, because some of them took their own lives because they went broke after Donald Trump did not pay them for building the buildings that he built that he would run into the ground. Paying them a fraction of what he owed them. Oh, you $150,000? Oh, here we'll settle for $30,000. How am I going to pay the rest $120,000? I took out loans for this shit. Not my problem. I see there's a little scratch right there and I'm not going to pay for it. And then take you to court knowing you ain't got no money and keep you in court for like 3 to 5 years till you just broke completely. That's evil, y'all. Pay for what you actually got. If there's a problem with it, ask them to fix it. But don't break it down to $30,000 when you owe them $150,000. I mean, it's just evil. And they found some kind of saving grace in like Satan Jr. And now they're realizing they made a deal with the devil. And they get exactly what they deserve. Now, I know other people don't deserve it. And I'm sorry that you're going through what you're going through. But they deserve it. They deserve to have this bite them right in the ass because they should have seen it. Because they're billionaires. They made millions, if not millions of dollars, but they've made thousands, I would say, of deals. And many of them, they have been ripped off on certain things, and they probably ripped other people off on certain things. So they know that if a person comes to you and says that, and plus they knew his history from the casinos. Because a lot of these billionaires were burnt putting money behind Donald Trump. And when they went bankrupt, they're the ones who got stuck with the bill because it was their money. And they didn't want to lose it all. So instead of getting rid of the hotels and different things in the buildings, they bought it from him so that they could take it over and try and make their money back. He's a rip-off artist, y'all. Rip-off artist. All right, let me go through some comments here and see what's going on, what everybody's talking about. We're going to go one video after this. Bye, Mike. Take good care. Oh, well, Mike is gone. So I didn't get to say what's up to you, bro. Don Lemon earlier, he was reading this article he wrote on Stack. Don was speaking the truth. Don's article. Whose article Don was reading? His own? Or under the delusion that it meant that I don't think it was strictly a color thing. You heard the Hispanic man at the end. No. I think at the end that dude was Indian, to be honest. I think he was an Indian guy. But I could be wrong. But it again, I don't say it wasn't a color thing, because there are many people who just don't like Latin people. because in this situation, even their own people, in this situation, they put a high emphasis on Latin people. Donald Trump threw Latin people under the bus in 2015 when he came down that escalator and said Mexican people, were rapists, they were, whatever, murderers and drug dealers and everything under the fucking sun. And then some of them, I guess, are good. That was the preface right there. And he never let up on Latin people. I don't care what anybody says who Latin and voted for him, or Latin and probably still like him but didn't vote for him. This man has been out for y'all 100%. He said that black people, these African people who were here, stuff like that, or not African, he just said African countries were shithole countries. So you know what he thought about those people, black people, African people. It wasn't just African, because he made the same type of mark many, many years ago, and it's on camera, him driving in a car, talking about he don't understand how those people in his black community, poor community, how they live like that. And it's like, it's poverty. They don't want to live like that. They don't have any opportunities for the most part, but there's no industry near their homes for the second part. And therefore, when you don't have anything, you get what you can the best way you know how, right? And so there needs to be investment into the industry in order for that to stop. And they don't think about that. So I truly still believe, even though it was an Indian guy or Latin guy at the end, they still have hatred for people who look like them and people of color. They don't attach themselves. I'm going to tell you, I've seen so many times when I've been doing this for a minute, and I've had to literally light into people of all different colors and shades saying that exact thing. I'm like, bro, you know what it's like to be black in this country. How the hell would you go off and act like this person doesn't need to be treated fairly when they don't treat us fairly? But they'll still have that jaded or slanted or anger toward that culture. They don't like us. I say, well, they may not, the ones that you met, but not all of them, bro. Don't be throwing them all in there. We ain't all the same. We ain't a monolith. So I truly do believe in that conversation, and I could be wrong, that man, he voted for Trump for a reason. And Donald Trump has always said nothing positive about people of color. I don't know where people see that at. The only thing he talk about anywhere that are good people are his black rich friends that he call his friends. And if you really dig deep into his friendship circle of black people, almost all of them have been accused of sexual abuse on somebody. Almost all of them have been accused of rape. Some of them have been accused of being pedophiles. And you're sitting there like, and then they'll literally be on his side, even on black issues. He's not racist. I said, he just said that we were shithole countries. They won't touch it. So it's kind of a weird, eerie type of thing. You don't know the full facts, but you do know that when you're around people who really don't have your best interest, you kind of know. You kind of know they really don't like you. They're just hanging with you just to be around you. Maybe you benefit something by being close to them, or maybe it's a financial thing. Maybe it's a clout thing. But when they speak, you can tell they really don't like people like you, and you're just the exception. That's what I get from Donald Trump. And that's what I get from people who like and follow Donald Trump. They have a secret hatred for their own people. And sometimes it's blatant. Because when Donald Trump was running, and I heard these Latin people, even this one lady talking about her own family members, yo, they need to go back. I was like, damn, your own family member? I'm like, was your kid or nephew, whatever, is he that bad? No, he just need to come here legally, because he's not here legally like me. And, it was just, I was like, so is he undocumented or is he illegal? Oh, he's undocumented. So he's not illegal. He has documents, but not all of them. He has to go back and go through the process. But no, she had this hate. She had this hate for her own family members. And I'm like, I don't get that at all. I don't know what kind of self-hatred you have to want to, dish your own family members, or maybe just a bad person, period, to her or whatever. Maybe, I don't know exactly what the relationship is, but it's harsh to say the least. It's a cult. They hypnotize them. I bet it's your. Little Rascals recently and caught Trump's cameo at the end. I cracked up. Oh, Little Rascal, Trump was in it? That's gotta be funny. The rappers glorified that man. They always use his name in their songs. They did, Vera. But again, we gotta understand something. No disrespect to the rappers, but you know, not all of them. Some of them were just gaslighting or faking the funk, but many of them were gang members, and therefore glorified the mob and the mafia, and him having hotels and his dad, you know, and you know, being in that industry. They've run across some mafia people in their lifetime. They had to be able to get some of these buildings and businesses and casinos actually built. You know, it was a unwritten rule, so to speak, that you need to even be able to build, you know, Atlantic City, Vegas, and stuff like that. You had to get contracts to mafia. So them being enamored by the mafia connection type of shit, them being enamored by the criminality, them being enamored by the boss type of attitude, they looked at him like that. And them having money and access and popularity, Trump wanted that. So they were kind of like feeding off each other's, like, you know, I don't know, not, I guess say fame, but their popularities. They were more mainstream. Everybody was loving them and rappers and things like that. And Trump was like hated in certain places, loved in others, didn't know about him in other places. So they kind of helped each other out. It's like they washed each other's hands, in, so to speak, when it came to like the celebrity game. Dave Portnoy was whining when he lost money on Octua coin. It's the Octua coins where he made his money. I didn't know how this dude was making money. I just remember he was eating pizza. Matter of fact, you brought up him. I have a video of them too. Let me see if I can get that one set up. The other one where the Trumpers are kind of like going off and explaining like what was going down. Let's see if I can get it. Let's see where it's at. Is it right here? There you go.
Yeah, I'm voting for Trump. Trump has put his tariffs all over the place. I've been trying to understand them. I don't. And everything's in the because of it. Mm-hmm. Donald Trump just cost me $20 million or whatever he did. Maybe don't be on the golf course.
Everyone in this room, everyone loves you. And I just want to say you're a true hero for this country.
I don't know how many of you guys are invested in crypto or stocks. What the f is going on with our country? Guys, why am I poor?
Because Donald is the nominee against Joe Biden. I won't just vote for him. I will walk over broken glass to vote for him. His giant tariff policy that he just dropped on the market unilaterally, probably unconstitutionally.
That was hilarious. They literally were like, oh, I love Donald Trump. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute. You know, he's doing something against the law here. That was Ben Shapiro at the end talking about he did it unconstitutionally. So, oh, wait a minute. The guy you love so much, the guy that you so like was speaking this entire time, like, you know, owning the libs, and Trump is like one of none, and you know, he's just the best in the world and all stuff like that. And you guys hate him because he's always owning you, and you guys got so excited by this nitwit, and we were telling you he was a nitwit, and now that he's proven to be a nitwit, you're now like, he's probably doing something illegal, unconstitutional. Like, how come you couldn't learn this before? Don't get me wrong, I'm glad you're arriving at stuff, but it's tentative because all he has to do is make you feel good the next day, and you just switch your mind up. The thing about me and the people around me, we're not flakes. We believe in what somebody tells us. If you tell me you're going to do something, I believe you're going to do it. Now, if you don't do it, then I have reason not to distrust you. Trump will tell you, I'm raising tariffs, and it's going to make us money. The outcome ain't happening. But what he said he's going to do, he's going to do. All of these people you saw, Dave Portnoy, you saw him say, I'm voting for him. And then after he lost 7 million, he came back up and he did another video. He said, I may have lost like 10 million so far or whatever. And, you know, I'm not going to look at it. But, you know, I'm not complaining. And I'm not going to, would I have voted for Kamala? I'm not saying that. No, I wouldn't have voted for Kamala. I still would have voted for Trump. I'm like, okay, keep saying that. We'll see how much money you lose in the next day. So this last video you saw of him I don't know what he's doing. I can't figure out the numbers. I can't. He's desperate. I don't know what's going on. I lost $20 million. And you lost more today, bro. You lost more today. Maybe not a lot more. It was 349 points or something like that. Not so much, but I don't know what all he was invested in. But yeah, you down 20, $25 million. I mean, the good point is, you know, he was worth, online you find out how much he's worth. Don't necessarily mean he is, but what's been stated, he's worth like 100 million, which threw me because I was like, what did he do? Because all I remember was for the pizza, but everybody told me he had this sports thing. And like I went to it and it's trash. I'm like, how do you even like this shit? How do you make $100 million off of this? You know, but hey, can't knock the hustle. It worked. So, but it said he's worth 100 million and he lost about 25. So he's down to 75 million. Again, these people are busted their ass to get to where this is, waking up just like waking up and seeing those numbers of how much you've gathered in your stock or how much your net worth is based on the properties you have and all that. Excuse me, I sneeze. Those are exciting moments. I can't take that away from anybody. Any of us woke up tomorrow and had $1 billion in the bank or $100 million in the bank from our work ethic and what we've done. We'd be excited. Then to wake up and see it's 75 million, we freak out. And even no matter who we voted for, we freak out. So I understand his pain, but it was not something that you did not or could not have foreseen, because the man said what he was going to do. And he did what he said he was going to do. So you can't be complaining if you voted for the man when he told you he was going to do what he's going to do. And even Portnoy said something about, and another one too, I don't know if I got that person, I can't remember who it was, but was so excited. They just knew their money was going to go up. My money, it was, I think he works for the stock exchange. I can't remember his name right now, but he was like bragging about how much money he was going to make. And he literally said this like December 2024. It's been, 4 months now? He said 2024 after Donald Trump had won, that he's going to get tired. He's not going to get tired of winning. He's going to make so much money with Donald Trump with the plans that he's got. And I'm like, what plan did you listen to? Because every time I listened to this man, I was always asking, what's the plan? Before he had the debate with Kamala Harris and said I had concepts of an insurance plan, I was always asking people, where is Donald Trump's plan? He never mentions numbers. He never mentions the exact plan. He talks about things in a situation of what it's going to do for you. Oh, you're going to have your money go down and the price of things is going to go down quick. I'll fix that real quick. How? The thing about Republicans and Fox and Newsmax and even CNN, I was like, the question is, when he said, I'm going to bring down the price of eggs and all this other stuff, and he went and did that press conference in front of all that food out in the sun, meat and everything, like out in the sun. No refrigerant, no cooler, no ice around it, just had it sitting out. And this is the thing. This is why I knew Donald Trump is so disconnected from reality. This man thinks the word groceries is a new word. Such an amazing word. I thought it was like the first time I heard him say it, I was like, he's like, when he said something about, we got these groceries, and then at the end when he won it, then like, and he said, I won on this little thing they like to call groceries. Like he just sprung it on everybody. Groceries, where'd that word come from? Oh my God, he's a king of the dipshits. Who really thought this man would get excited about a word groceries? Like he's never heard it before in his 80 almost years old life. He gets excited about the word groceries like it's a newfangled toy. You should know something's wrong when a grown-ass man thinks groceries is a neat word. That's who we have as the president. I remember, what was it during the campaign? This fool. What was the word? I'm trying to remember. He had one word. and he was shocked that the word actually said something else. It just because it was an acronym for something else. I forgot what it was. I'll get it probably tomorrow. It'll bug me all night. But this man, he was shocked that, this word, and he thought he had just made it up. Did you know that the acronym, or whatever, names the acronym, if you put the first letter and the last letter, it stays, it wasn't this exact word, but if you said inner quality, right? Just making this up. This wasn't what it was, but it was something similar to this. So if I said the words inner quality, right? And he would look there and say, did you know that inner quality put together initials says IQ? And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude? But these weren't the exact words, but he literally did that to a word. And he just took the initials and was like, I just saw that today. You ever think about that? I'm like, you're quite slow. And this dude really thought he was smart. He really thinks he's smart. And these people, billionaires and all, Republicans, were sitting there looking at this dude like, was it United? When I realized the United States said us, it was like that same way. I wrote, man, I got to find out what it was because it's going to bug me. But that's what he was like. He couldn't believe that these two letters came together. And I don't know if it was us or whatever, but it was just like, it was crazy. Have comedy show. He was insane. It really threw me off to see a grown man literally think he discovered something at 80 or 78, however he is, how old he is. And you're like, this dude is the one you trust with your economy? This dude. The one who just figured some shit out at almost 80 that a 7-year-old figured out. And he spoke to the audience like, you guys ever notice that? Wow. I'll find out what it is. It said, let's see if I can find it. Trump discovers the word groceries. I feel like somebody's be funny. Discovers maybe it was the United States. It was United States. It was United States. You're right. Say wit. That was it. That was it. I was wondering, thank goodness. I was looking and I was like, wait a minute. Maybe that was it. Yeah, that was it. United States spells us. Oh man. Yo. The expert does not exist. Ron Vera. There you go, silent siren. Siren. That's what it was. Ron Vera was an anagram of Navarro. That's who he said was teaching. He learned all his economic stuff from in his book, and it was Rachel Maddow where I got it from. I saw a clip of her video, and she said the person doesn't exist. It is really an anagram of his last name. I was like, yo, these people. On a fantasy expert. I mean, you gotta understand, first of all, any of us, I trust that everybody in this room is a genius compared to Donald Trump. I just know that for a fact. But you had to know as not us, as an economist. I mean, I trust that whatever you guys do for a living, I trust you guys do it well. Okay. Now, this man, when he came up with this idea, there had to be somebody like Scott Bessent. Everybody gives him his credit for being a great economist or a financial guy. When he saw that math equation that he had, that Navarro had, and the things that they brought out, that man had to have looked at that and said, we in trouble? He had to have. He had to have. Because you don't get to that level where everybody in the industry trusts you, know what you're talking about, and then you come here and look at our Pete Navarro's like bullshit ass equation and not freak the fuck out. Be like, oh, what I got myself into. I'm gonna fake a heart attack and leave. I'm gonna do something. I am not staying there to destroy everything I've built over an idiot. No, not at all. But you know, that equation, you know what? I saw a clip. I didn't get to see it all. I saw it in passing. Maybe you guys have seen it. I'm going to look it up and probably tell more about it tomorrow. But supposedly on CNN, like early in the morning or something like that, they had an economist of some sort explain that graphic, that mathematical equation. Yeah, silent sir. That mathematical equation, they had somebody explain it. And I don't know what that person said, whether they said it was AI or not. But I do know it was on the Sunday show where the host asked, you know, one of Donald Trump's minions in economics, was that chart built by AI? Because that makes sense about how it put stuff on there that had nothing to do with reality. Because not unless they just vastly stupid, which even to put AI and let that come out but somebody had to put the chart together. You know what I'm saying? Even if they got the information from AI, they didn't print that big ass thing out from a printer at AI. That literally somebody put that shit together. That whack ass chart was put together by somebody, Keiko's or something. But it's the funniest shit. I can't believe it, yo. I mean, come on. We might as well have like 12th graders run the country. I promise you it'll be better. We might as well just let it get down. Because we really got a 5th grader as a president now. So, I mean, we might as well just open it up to 12th graders. Because I promise you, they make better decisions than Donald Trump. This man has a child brain. The things he says, the way he says them, child, pure child. He has a kid's grasp on economics, and these people are trying to make him think that he's a genius. And all of these people realizing now, the ones I showed you who went off, that something's gone awry. Because you got an idiot hiring people that he thinks is qualified. Pete Navarro is not qualified. Not that he doesn't have a career doing something in the past, but all these experts, both Republican, independent, Democrats, political, they're apolitical, they're just, finance people. All of them are like, I haven't seen one yet that said what they're doing makes sense. All of them have said it's either bullshit. They have gotten to the point where they're cussing. And that's not something you normally see them say. They're cussing, calling it bullshit. What is this stuff? He's fucking around and finding out. It's just one after another, people trying to destroy this man's, idea of what this is all about. This world is the idea. And I'm like, why weren't y'all there before? Because the man told you what he's going to do. He just didn't tell you he's going to do it to every country. But what he's doing, he said he's going to do. You agreed with that. You blew his head up thinking that it would work. So why not multiply it by all countries? If you gave me so many accolades with just 2 or 3 countries, look how much they're going to pat my back when I do it for all. And then you're like, oh, wow. We just voted in a dipshit. Oh no. Hey, pull up, pull out, do something. But you guys created this monster. Republicans, billionaires, you created this monster. It's up to you to take them out. Republicans in the House and Senate, billionaires, start paying them money to get rid of them because they live by the money. Start saying that you're going to primary them if they don't get this fool to stop. They'll listen. They'll listen. Right, Silent Siren? It's a really good response or question / response. Why would companies build plants here if all the building materials are through the roof expensive? And the answer to your question is they aren't. They aren't building shit here. They're not going to. You guys, I know you guys have seen some of the people speak about it. It's usually through a finance person or some reporter or something like that saying they spoke to these individuals. These individuals aren't coming out and speaking and giving their name out. They're doing it anonymously. But they're like, like I told you, one of them said that the tariffs would help them, but only if they stay permanent. Because then they would invest the billions of dollars to be able to build an industry here and make a lot of money because of the fact that, again, more than likely what they're going to do is build it for robots. A robot is cheaper than the mass of humans. It's like you get the robot, get somebody to watch it. You may pay, around the clock, you may pay 5-10 people to watch the entire facility from one computer or robot, and you could sit there and work them all on the whole place. One computer, just big computer area, but different screens control the entire facility and make a lot of money because it's building it all over the place, building hundreds of them a freaking hour, and you don't need a human being there. The computers can take the clothing off the rack, fold it up, package it up, stamp it with the whatever, put it in a box, and then send it off. Through the trucks picking it up, send it off to whatever location is. You invest up front a lot of money. But if you bring the industry back and it's staying and the tariffs are staying on, then they're willing to do it, some of these people. But the tariffs aren't staying on, they're negotiable. So this guy's like, I'm not investing hundreds of millions of dollars, or he said billions of dollars, if these tariffs are going to move. And the way Donald Trump is, they'll move when somebody makes a deal. And if they're talking about making a deal, why the hell would I put myself out, build something, and then all of a sudden I got to close it down because he changed his mind? That's the problem. They can't trust him. Will increase household expenses by up to $5,000 per year. I heard the same thing, Siren. I heard the same thing today. And it's going up, because a few days ago, I think it was last week, Friday, they said it's going to, because of the tariffs that they stay on, it was going to be like 3,000, something like that. And then I think it was yesterday, it was somewhere around 3,800, something like that. And then today I heard 5,000. And I'm guessing they're calculating it, and I'm not sure because I don't know how they would calculate that in just yet, but they might have the 105% that Donald Trump's putting on. So that might be including that. I'm not sure. I didn't catch that information, but I did hear up to $5,000 per year per family. And that's insane. When people were looking for tax breaks, or not tax breaks, but looking for lowering costs on things, now you're going to tell them not only are your eggs going up, not only are your bills going up, but you're going to end up paying $5,000 more. Again, you got to think about it. The average family, if they got a bill or a medical bill, first of all, they're a medical bill away from going broke. But if they got an instant bill, like something came up, it was an extra $400 a month, they wouldn't be able to do it. They'd have to finance something to be able to do it. So on the average family, not being able to have an additional $400 thrown on them every month, what do you think is going to happen when $5,000 a year is thrown on you? And there's no end in sight. You don't know if it's going to stop after that first year, or you're going to keep it on forever. And if he is, are the businesses that you work at, are they going to give you a raise, or are they going to start firing people? Because you got to think about it. If things cost more, that means you're going to start buying less. So if everything goes up, what's going to happen, I believe, I may be wrong, but what I think will happen is the average time, let's say we're going to keep it with food. Every time you go to the store, what's going to gradually happen is right now for me, I own the lowest I see, let's say buying eggs is 12, right? And that's the lowest amount that I see. But when they start putting these tariffs on and things start changing, you're gonna see cartons with 4 eggs in them, little 2-egg cartons of eggs, selling them smaller, same, and then not same price, but still higher pricing than you would if you just bought 12 and separated into 4. They're gonna start doing that with food. You used to be able to go buy stuff. This was whatever by the pound. They're gonna be like, no, this is by a pound of what, 16 ounces or whatever, how many ounces it is. It's gonna be half that. They're gonna be selling about a pound. They're gonna be selling about half the pound, but at the pound prices. Everything kind of like cuts back. The prices kind of stay the same. So you're gonna get less for the same price or more. So food won't last in the house long enough, and you're gonna have to keep shopping more often, which means your bills are gonna go up. So those are the types of things that are gonna happen if they don't get a hold of this and stop it somehow. And at this point, they don't know how to stop this Trump train. And they're the ones that put the fuel in it. It's crazy. Some of them are predicting stagflation. I've heard that in the past couple of days. Yeah, I'm in California, Troy Scott. Yeah, $12 is like for eggs. I saw. I don't know about here recently, but right after, I don't get eggs all the time, but because I went through a phase of eating eggs almost every day, and I just got tired of them. I do that sometimes. I was eating bananas like every day for months, and I just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with eggs for like 6 months. Not eggs, but bananas. But I don't know how much the last time I bought them, and I did buy them recently, like in the last week or so. But I don't remember how much they were. I just put it in the cart. I probably can look at the receipt. But the last time I went to look at it, it was like I want to say it was $9.99 or something like that. And then I saw it's 12, so it's 6 more, so it's 18. I saw one of them, the 18 eggs, carton and a half, I guess, I don't know what they call it. That one was $15.99, one of them, and another one was, I don't know what the other egg was. I don't know if it was just organic. It was $18.99. Yeah, so I don't know what they are now. I could probably look it up. Where are you at? How much are yours? I'm concerned about they just became a documentary. Yeah, the Idiocracy. Someone told me about that movie. I have not seen it. I'm gonna have to Google stagflation. Yeah. It's when prices go up during an economic downturn. Yeah. Basically people stop buying and prices go up at the same time, which is really unusual. And they said that's I do. California price is not a good baseline for cost compared to the rest of the country. It isn't. I'm talking about for me. The rest of the country is a lot different. My family's from Indiana, so theirs is a lot different than mine. But I usually go online and find out like the average for the United States. They totals the whole state, so you can go how much is average egg prices. And you can go to some places. You really kind of want to get like a stat type of thing, but I ain't gonna go there. That's it. USA Today, on average, It said, what day was this? This was April 2nd, just 6 days ago. The national egg prices fell 9%. Average, see here, sorry. Average of a dozen, $3. U.S. Department of that was according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Yeah. So the average of $3. What is it in your states? Yeah, compared to this time last year, which was probably about $4. They said the average as a second that is $3. I haven't heard anybody tell me they got $3, but it's the Department of Agriculture. But see, sometimes what they'll do is they'll tell you how much it costs the maker, not the buyer. Because it costs $5.90 when it was really high. It cost $5.90 for let's say like your grocery store to buy it, and then they would mark it up. So let's make sure that they're talking about. Sometimes they give you that for the wholesaler, not necessarily for the person who buys it. And yeah, they were talking about the wholesale price. Because it was in California, the wholesale price was $5.34 a dozen, which that's why we were getting charged $9 something when they was making $4 off of us. So I don't know how much it is for the consumer. So you said it was like $9. They're probably charging more. So how much is the average egg prices for the consumer, not the wholesaler? Let's see. It does not say. Yeah, these are all for the wholesaler. Yeah, all they got is for the wholesaler. They don't have the prices for the people in their stores. But they went down for the wholesaler to $3.90 or $3, but coming down from $5.90, and that was in California. So we don't know how much they charge more. I saw gas prices were going up as well. It was $3.15 here today. I don't know, what is the gas prices in LA? LA is always high. What are the gas prices? Current, what day is this? Okay, this is as of today. This is AAA, where I'm getting it from. Current average gas prices for California now, not for you, of course. And that is today's prices. The average for regular is $4.94.8, so $4.95. And then premium, of course, is $5.34. Diesel $5.41. Yeah. $4.79 in the Bay Area. That's not bad at all, seeing as how it says just says California, didn't say where. The Bay is usually more, I would think, higher, but it's lower, huh? While we traffic penguins, silent Sarah, hilarious. Because, like I said, I think it's AI that they got that from. I didn't even think of that. I didn't think of that, and I saw it on TV. Somebody was asking that question. It was like the Sunday show, Sunday news show. Kristen something, and I saw the clip. I didn't see the show, and she asked the question of his Secretary of Commerce. And he laughed at it, but I was her. I would have kept pressing him. Like she said, "Why is it? Was it AI that did it? I mean, why would you be taxing? Why would you throw tariffs on penguins?" It's hilarious. It's straight comedy. $24 for 5 dozen at Costco in San Francisco. San Francisco is kind of high, isn't it? I know its cost of living is high, but but that's not bad though for 5 dozen. That ain't bad at all. 5 dozen. That's six. That's 60 eggs, right? Am I missing something? Yeah, that's 60 eggs. How many? Let me see what that even looks like by per egg here. I'll do my math. I be doing math in here like the top of the dome. I ain't gonna mess up. Sounding like I'm remedial up in here. Somebody else get it before me. It said 5 dozen. That's crazy. And you said it's 24. It's 24 divided by 60. That's 40 cents an egg. That ain't bad at all. Shit, I might have to order that. I might have to order that online. Like, could y'all send that shit to me like FedEx? That's 40 cents an egg. That ain't bad. I mean, because if you do 40 times 12, it's 40 cents an egg. Yeah, that ain't nothing but $4.80 per dozen. That ain't bad at all. Because I think, you know what, let me look. Because I go to Trader Joe's often to get eggs. See, Trader Joe's egg prices today. Today, man, when you cheated me off a word. There you go. I don't know if, it says Sherman Oaks. I'm not there, but it's not that big of a difference. You said 480 for pasteurized large brown eggs, $4.99 a dozen. Then the organic ones are $6.99. Now, see, before pandemic, the eggs there were $3.99, so it's like only $1 difference in the past 2 years. But it went up like crazy after that. But yeah, that ain't bad. I mean, it's not bad because it was high as hell for a minute there. All right. I paid $2.87 today after work. Is this for gas or are you talking about? Not for gas, are you, Troy? Oh, eggs. But I don't trust Aldi. Aldi's, yeah, I haven't been to Aldi's in a long time. I used to go to Aldi's when I was in college. That was a spot to go to. I went to Ball State in Indiana, Muncie, Indiana, and used to go to Aldi's and pick up all the, like, you know, back then, dating myself, it was like 25 cents for everything. I mean, I one of the things I got from Aldi's, it was like one of the first items like I purchased myself after moving out of my mom's house was the Jiffy cornbread. That little box was like 25 cents. It was crazy. I used to load up too. I make everything. So you quit eating eggs, woke Mike? Why'd you quit eating eggs? It's high in not protein, but cholesterol. Yeah, I'm hearing that about Costco. Lynn is great and refuses to bend the knee to Trump. Pay 2 cents per gallon this afternoon for gas. That ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. I mean, I don't know what it is in your town normally, but I'm in California, so yeah. He said, Lynn is upper class. She goes to Costco. I'm a white trash Sam's Club shopper. That's comedy. Sam's Club and Costco pretty much the same, ain't they? Am I missing something? I don't belong to either. So y'all both got me. They can have to correct ChatGPT all the damn time. So if that's what they use, no wonder. I wouldn't doubt it. And if they use ChatGPT to do it, then they don't even know what the hell they're doing. They're just writing shit down. That means they have no plan. I mean, because this chart you put out is supposed to explain your plan. And I got to go back. I said, in the morning, I want to say it was something like a 6 o'clock show or something like that. 6 in the morning, something like that. At least that's when I saw this clip. I passed by and saw it. I don't know if it was on CNN, I believe. But I saw a clip of something of the morning people I see. They were talking about explaining this. I gotta go look it up. I forgot all about it. See what that equation was all about, whether it was just BS or was it just they got their math wrong, but they were applauding the guy for explaining it like he did it really well. So, because I don't know what it is, I'm gonna try and look it up. The Penguins are mad, Lynn. Mr. Popper's going to be pissed. What's that about? Here in Texas, oh, that's where you at. Georgia, that's where you at, Silent. We're paying nearly $8 for 18. Yeah. I never really ever bought. I mean, you must have a good big family, because I know a lot of my friends who they don't even have to have big families, but their parents grew up in a big family. They always buy a lot. I mean, a lot. You'd be like, man, they got enough food here for like 12 people. Ain't nothing but 3 of y'all in the house. So yeah, she used to cooking for her family. We always have food leftovers for like days. Going to school with full on chili like that's been in the refrigerator for 2 or 3 days. Because she'll make a huge, everything they got is huge pots of everything. Jupiter Hitler, Oak Mike, or Psycho. Yeah, 104%, which is, this dude is just insane. But anyway, those are the things I wanted to show y'all today. Our numbers as far as it went down again. I said 349 points. It's a loss, not as bad as the other, but the other, it was 840 something like that billion, or 980 billion, I think it was yesterday. And then the day before that, and the day before that, total altogether around $11 billion lost. $11 trillion. I'm saying billion. $1 trillion lost. I'm on the billions. It's on the trillions. And it's just insane. That much lost out of the market. And it makes you wake up, and I feel sorry for those, who have, their life savings in one particular spot or haven't taken some things out. And they're riding it, they're going to play it. It's going to come back up eventually, but people who had a heck of a lot of money and they're ready to retire, it's going to take a minute to grow that back. Not unless you get lucky and pick the right thing that's going to blow up as soon as this gets loose. When they let go, if they, get rid of these, tariffs, you're going to have to know which industry they're going to heavily invest in and start putting money in for it to grow within the next couple of years. I mean, everything you got right now is going to slowly grow, not unless you're heavily invested in a lot of these different commodities they're going to be needing. Because again, metals is going to have to go up if they're going to have more factories. Of course, wood's going to have to go up, things of that nature. But we get a lot of that from Canada, both of those, wood and metal. So I don't know. It's a gamble, but we'll see. The Hollywood of the South. I'm near Atlanta. I went to Georgia with my Chocolate Music Lab group. I do music, old school music on Fridays. Around after this show, I go and do, after my 5 o'clock show, I go over there and do a show on Fridays with old school music. They request 2 songs. And my group, we all went to, we was going to go to Atlanta, but we went to Georgia. And we stayed at this like estate that had like 3 huge houses on it. We called one of them the big house because it was up the hill a little ways. And we had like a whole lake. We had like 13 acres to ourselves. Farmland, not farmland, but like flat land. It had the lake there. They had like these old barns in the back, which was pretty kind of cool to go look at. But yeah, we travel every once in a while. We went to Paisley Park the year before. And Paisley Park was fun. Princess spot in Minnesota. Nice. More about who companies support. I'd rather pay more to buy from a non-Trumper. In fact, I boycott those companies and will forever. Yeah, I try my best to not find out who supported Trump and wants that. Because again, I look at it like this. For most of the people who voted for Trump, they were looking for some culture to hurt outside of their own. They were either mad at immigrants, mostly immigrants of color. Some were mad at immigrants who come from other countries, period. The ones who came over here to get the visas, some of them were mad at them, not all of them. And then they're also mad at, everybody's lifestyle is not like their own, or their religion is not like theirs. And I try my best to stay clear of supporting any of that. I don't want to put money in the pockets of anybody who is looking to destroy the people that I love and care about. People who are, my race or any other race that they think is just inferior. Women whom they think don't deserve to be able to take control of their own freaking bodies. I don't want to have I don't want to put money in the pocket of people whose lifestyle is all about throwing limiters on other people just living their life. And all the time you can't figure that out, but the best you can do is do your research. You see them and you start to look inside like, okay, I'm going to this company. Do I see anything online that shows them to be a Trumper or this or that? If it is, I can bounce. Like, I don't eat at Taco Bell anymore. I'm done. Not because they are Trumpers or anything of that nature. They just did something that was kind of whack, that I was like, you know what? I'm not giving you money if you're going to allow certain things to happen in your facility. And I just said, I'm not doing it anymore. So I don't even think about Taco Bell. I see a commercial of Taco Bell on my phone. I flip it quick because I don't even want them to send me another one. I don't want to sit there for seconds watching it. I flip it quick as possible. Humanity needs to be awakened. Yeah, I feel you. I refuse to frequent Chick-fil-A because they aren't open on Sundays. Yeah, I don't eat at Chick-fil-A on Sundays. Yeah, I mean, I don't eat at Chick-fil-A. But again, like I said, I don't know what every company has done. You know what I'm saying? But it's not, again, it's for me, it's usually like humanity things. If you treat people disrespectfully, you don't deserve money from me. I don't want to empower that attitude or that characteristic in the person. I don't want to do that. If I knew somebody was a Nazi, I wouldn't buy a damn thing from them. So if I have somebody that hates people of color or hates people who are disabled or hates people who are trans, gay, bi, and they don't want to like serve them or give them food, I'm like, dude, then I don't want to be nowhere near your facility. I don't want to give you no time, no money, no advertisement, nothing. I don't even want to mention. I'm out. And even if I ate there my entire life, let me find out. It's a wrap. I got control like that. I don't need to eat at your spot. I'll cook my own shit. But anyway, I can't boycott everyone that supports MAGA. We have no small family-owned stores around us. We only have big box stores here. I'm on a serious Target withdrawal. I hear you, KB. Yeah, that's hard to do. You never know who supports MAGA. That's the point. You never know, KB. So I do my best. I do my best. I can't say that I never will because I don't know everybody's situation. But if it's open and out in the open, when I find out, then I'm out. Only damn problem. I prefer Target over Walmart, but I do the store pickup where they bring it to the pickup. Oh, I see you, Troy. Also, they only have wheat buns and romaine lettuce. That strikes 1, 2. What company is that? Oh, are you talking about Chick-fil-A? They only have wheat buns. Is it they're a bad company? Yeah, I've heard a lot about them. I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I don't eat there. And you know what's so trip? Chick-fil-A has been around a long, long, long time. As old as I am. I remember Chick-fil-A wasn't here in LA or in California. I grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana. And the first time I saw a Chick-fil-A, I was a teenager. And it was in our mall. We had a mall in Indiana called Washington Square Mall. It used to be, now it's kind of closed down or something, or at least very few stores in it. The last time I checked, it's been years. But it was the mall to be at, man. It was like everything was there. Video games, everything. Right beside the video games, this little shop, Chick-fil-A came. It was really small. I mean, it was just like a narrow You had like a few seats to the left, like 3 or 4 seats, a narrow walk through. It was small. It was way smaller than like a White House, but in the mall, it was just a little strip. You walk down and you buy the food over here. And I mean, 8 people were sitting and it was full. So you had to go out and eat out in the mall if you're going to eat it. But yeah, I went there, and the first time I had their chicken, I liked it. The first time I had it though, you know, I was used to, even in Indiana, like if you bought a chicken sandwich, you know what I'm saying? You opened it up, you had like lettuce, tomato, you'd have to ask for pickles. They would always put those on, pickles, maybe, you know, onions, rarely with chicken, but they would have onions sometimes. They have different condiments on. So when I got it, I'm like, shit only got a pickle on it? What the fuck is this? I never had it before. And then I bit into it and I was like, man, this is really good. So I didn't have a problem just eating it like bare as it was. I moved to LA like many years later. That was like when I was like 15, 16. I went to college, moved to LA when I was like 23, and worked out here in entertainment for years. And I didn't see another Chick-fil-A until I was probably 40 something or whatever. And where I was like, they got Chick-fil-A out here? And then I went and checked it out. But I haven't eaten there since, you know what I'm saying? After I found out they were like super, you know, against everything, you know, I guess through the religion aspect of it, and they formed their business around it, I was like, oh, okay, I can't do this. I can't do this. And plus, I think it was also the abortion thing too, that they were supporting. Not that you couldn't have your own control of your own body. I was like, I don't want to be bothered with that. My girls are boycotting Chick-fil-A and Starbucks. I'm so proud of them because I know it hurts them. Yeah, you got some really good kids. It's hard. And when your kids stand up for something, that is like the amazing feeling to have as a parent. When your kids stand up for injustice. Because, you know, there's so many kids that just don't think about anybody but themselves. And when you see your kids like, oh, Dad, I'm not eating this, I'm not drinking this, I'm not doing that. I'm like, why? Oh, because they do this, and then you just well up like, wow. You know, because when you were a kid, you didn't know of all of these. At least me, I didn't know of all of these things to fight for. I saw, you know, I heard about Martin Luther King. I heard about and other Reverend Jesse Jackson and, you know, things of that nature. I wasn't around in that era in California or anything like that. I was in Indiana, so we didn't have those meetings in the area that I lived in. So they were mostly in Chicago, California, and New York. Indiana was not like that. But I wish it was, because it just seemed like it would have been a cool thing to be marching as a child and learning how to fight for something. Chipotle, I haven't eaten that in a long time either. It wasn't any stance that I stood on with Chipotle. Chipotle had too many callbacks for me. When I got like, there's only one time it happened to me, the food poisoning. But they had the food poisoning thing, like they had to get rid of their meat like one time, this is many years ago. Had to get rid of their meat. At not all of the stores, but most of the stores. Call back on meat. I'm like, man, how do you make meat go bad? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you should know better. So I didn't eat there after that for months. And then I took my kids. We had something. It was cool. And all right, it's good now. No problems. Then they had another recall. I was like, man, I don't know. And I didn't eat there for like a year after that. And you kind of like forget. Sometimes you like it'd be like, for me, I'll be working for, I work in entertainment, and I use like freelance. People ask me, can you come help me with this or what? I'm like, all right, I'll come help you out. So I would go work for a day on a project or something like that, or a couple of days. And the closest thing would be like a Chipotle. I'm like, well, shit. So, but at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not going to eat it. So I would go to like this pizza place around the corner. But yeah, it gave me food poisoning one time. It had me messed up, y'all. Messed up. I was like, I'm done, Chipotle. They had poison lettuce, Troy Scott. Yeah, they had all kinds of different things. I know they had the meat that was messed up twice. And fake corn? Oh, shit, thank goodness I didn't know that one. Between 2018 and 2022, It was within that time frame that the meat was bad. Yeah, I don't know if it was other times. A taco. Oh, you're asking Vera. Taco Casa? I've never heard of that. I haven't. I woke up this morning and took a. I still can't get rid of the smell. Pork bite, you're hilarious, bro. He said I took a Trump. Out here is blackout coffee, blueberry crumble flavor. Oh wow, where you at? Silent Siren? You in the? Did you say you was in the Bay? Blackout coffee. I'm a coffee person, big time. I ain't gonna lie. I'm addicted. Blackout coffee. Never heard of that one. Oh, it's blackout coffee. I just not thought about it. Does it make you blackout? Is it that strong? I see Blackout Coffee Company, but I think this mostly they sell I see a store. I just see packages of coffee. And it said this is our signature blend, smooth finish. That's the light roast, brutal awakening, dark roast, morning reaper, and medium roast, and pitch black espresso. That right there is probably what I would take. The espresso would be so strong, have you woken, eyes bugged out. You all right? I mean, I'm good. Why you ask? Why you ask? Because you can't close your eyes? Oh, I see the blueberry crumble flavored coffee package. I see that. The Jamaican Me Crazy. That's some pretty funny, cool names. Dark chocolate. Yep, that'd be me too. Cinnamon French toast. Wow, they be throwing it in there. And one called Climax. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone. I don't know what that has to do with coffee. You make it at home. Yeah. Yeah, it looks nice though. I've never seen or heard of blackout coffee. Blueberry crumble. I might have to try it. I put it on my list here to check out. Home Depot. Hey, Ionia. Is it our go-to craft store? I shop for craft supplies at Michael's. Oh yeah, Michael's. I used to shop at Michael's many years ago. I was married, but I don't do any crafts. I always bought it for her or the kids. Haven't been to Michael's in about 12 years, probably more than that. The cookie doodle is good. Very good. Did you know Hobby Lobby are dump supporters? Yeah, I knew Hobby Lobby many years ago. Were highly, I wouldn't say that we're conservative because I don't believe they're really conservative, but that they were Republicans. They lean that direction. And they're again, I don't know if they were white nationalists, Christians, but again, they're the Christian group that kind of like wants you to follow their way or no way at all. Like strawberry shortcake flavor. Wow, you be throwing it in there. You got a sweet tooth. You want your chocolate bitter and sweet. I mean, I like mine. I'm kind of like that. I like mine bittersweet, to be honest. But it's usually mine is just like cream and a little sugar and coffee. But I'll do like not sugar, but like at the coffee shop they have the syrup. I actually get the exact same syrup as the coffee shop. You can get them at like is it World something? World Market. They sell them for like $9. The big bottle. It can be vanilla. I don't get like the coconut, nothing like that, but I'll get like vanilla or hazelnut, and that's it for me. Joanne Fabrics filed for bankruptcy. All of them. I remember seeing the one that I used to take who did I take there? I think it was my daughter to one out where she lived at, her mother lived at. Used to go pick stuff that they try to make things and sew things and stuff like that. I say me too. Liquid sugar, basically liquid sugar. Yeah. It's the same thing at the coffee shop. When I get an vanilla, that's what I make now. I make mostly like iced coffee, like a vanilla iced coffee or hazelnut. iced coffee. Yeah, I'm an iced coffee person now, or the brewed coffee, cold brew. I really like cold brew. Yeah, I haven't eaten at Subway. You know what's so trip, y'all, with Subway? And I don't have anything to do with Subway. I'm not promoting and not promoting them. Just noticing. I used to eat at Subway a lot because it was like I thought, but it wasn't really. I thought it was healthier, and until I found out, and I would get something like a tuna sandwich or whatever, and throw whatever I liked on it, and have that real quick, and probably wouldn't have nothing throughout the whole day because I was always working. Always been a workaholic. So, and then when I went, they did a shift of their store, where they redesigned them. I don't know if they did it everywhere, but in LA they did, and they redesigned them. And when they redesigned them, they made it like inconspicuous. I mean, they made it like very secretive. Like they put like a metal whatever in front of the glass so you couldn't see the meat, the quality of the meat, and nothing. The food, the vegetables, couldn't see the quality of it. So I went a couple times and I got what I normally get. And I'm like, I want the tuna, the da-da-da, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then they put it in, wrapped it up and shit. I got home. I got the wrap, not the bread. So I got the wrap, the tomato, whatever, or one of those, the green one, and got the wrap. Get home, and there's barely any tuna in it. Usually it's full. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And the wrap looks smaller. I'm like, but the price was more. I'm like, wait a minute, they kind of shorted me on it, right? So, but I went to go take a bite out of it, and the tuna was just tasting like it was kind of old. And I'm sitting there like, this is crazy. So every once in a while, if I get taken, or at least I feel like I get taken, I would take my butt right back to the store and say, what is this? So I pulled one of those, what is this? And I said, what is this crap you just gave me? So I showed it to him, and I went to the side, and I looked and peered into where their food is at, and none of that shit looked good. I was like, what is this shit old? I mean, why you guys cover up the food? And then you got to go to the side to look behind it to see that is not the freshest food. You guys literally are covering up food that isn't fresh. I'm like, nah. You gonna sell it as fresh, but behind this metal door? I was like, nah, I'm straight. So I haven't been back. Yeah, Timo's gonna get hired though, Silent Siren. Once he throws these tariffs on, all these places are gonna be kind of high. I don't know how they're gonna make this shit happen, because a lot of it's coming from China by way of some other country, like another Asian country. Like one might buy it from China, send it to their country, and through their country to ours, and somehow they got to figure it out. But I still think with the tariffs on it, it'll be cheaper than you have to buy it here. I hate to see all of the support that you feel like, I guess. Cars are lined up. Yeah, they're always lined up. 100 horse piss. I hope not, woke Mike. That's what's going on here. We are about to have supply line issues for real. We are going to be charging those container ships. Yeah. Like I saw a business owner today. A furniture store is closing down because the tariffs are too high. He has containers of furniture here in the United States that he gotten from overseas, and he doesn't have the money to pick it up because the price of it is just shot through the roof compared to what it was before. So he closing down his business. I mean, and then he said all the other people just gonna have to find a new job. And again, they're already closing. This has literally been, you know, I mean, how do you have a business for years, right? And then this idiot comes in within months, you got to close down because he's been destroying the economy. Not only is this man out of a business, I think he said he had, like, in the teens, like 10, 13, something like that, double digits rather, employees. They're all going to have to find new jobs. So he's firing them all. And he's losing his business. Can't stand Trump, yo. It's DG and Publix everywhere in Walmart. Now I do like In-N-Out burger. I enjoy the protein style with the lettuce as the bun. Oh, that's nice, Troy. I rarely eat out, but when I do, In-N-Out is one of the places I eat at. If I want a burger, In-N-Out is one of the spots. They won't let me renew my subscription. Who won't let you renew your subscription? Save with. Your super chats are being blocked? I never blocked them. Let me see what's going on. I don't know how. I haven't changed anything. I've been sitting here the entire time. Let me see. Nope. Super chats or highlight membership. If you change fields, this filter will only show your last 100 fan. I don't know what that's all about. But no, Snoop was disappointed when he asked who was going to be the first black artist to be Uncle. Yeah, for Trump. Yeah, thank you for that. 505. I see. Oh, so did you watch David Portnoy's breakdown after losing 20 million in one day? Yeah, I did see that. Thank you for that. Have you watched the China troll on Americans? I remember asking about that. I saw that one. And I see he's at 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you talking about me not recognizing him? Because sorry about that if that's the case. But if you're seeing something else, I don't know what is happening with this app, man. It's sometimes I have to. Let's see if I can do it over here. See if I know anything else. It doesn't say anything. I don't have any errors or anything like that telling me anything, but I've seen that you've supported me 4 times and I appreciate it. But I don't have any moderations on anything. Reactions, moderation activity. Let me see. It's asking me that I want it to be shown. And I'm checking it out right now. I don't know anything about what's going on. Join channels, my account been like this for a while. I'll reach out to you then tomorrow. Okay, because it doesn't say in here that anything's like a problem at all. But it may when I close it down. Sometimes YouTube freaks out. You got to restart it. The hell is that? Okay, you have to restart it sometimes. So I'm gonna see. Why is it tripping? Okay. I don't know why this throttling occur. I have no idea. I haven't had it happen to me. So I don't know what that's all about. Why would they throttle me? That's crazy. I'm gonna look that up right now. Huh. Where's it at? Oh, you're talking about people actually being able to see me. Yeah, I don't know. If a content creator says something that plays something against YT rules, it's the South. This is all we have in Raw. Yeah, I don't know if I said anything about any rules or anything like that. I haven't broken any rules that I know of. So It would have gave me some kind of notification. I would think they usually do. Maybe I'll see it once I get off. And I'm the thumbs down or report. Yeah, it says you're right. Like I saw 5 Alarm. I saw you say something, and did you retract your own message? Because I saw it for a second and it disappeared. Yeah, I wasn't notified about anything just yet, but it does say like 5 Alarm Fire. Maybe you took it yourself, that you retracted it, but a message came up and then it disappeared. Yeah, I'm always reading new rules and stuff like that for YouTube and and they notify me though. I give them credit though, because I like it better than TikTok, because TikTok doesn't really tell you rules all the time. It'll tell you like this is against the rules, but they won't point you to them. The thing about YouTube, at least for me, that I've had experience, anything I've ever had a problem with, it automatically notified me what the problem was. When I was live, it doesn't necessarily do it. But once I get out of the live, or whatever, I check it or refresh it, it gives me all these notifications, and it'll be like, this was wrong, this was wrong, this was whatever. But it gives you exactly what was wrong, and it gives you a link on some of them, not all of them, where you click and it take you right to what they think you may have violated. And so that to me is a lot better than the other ones, because they don't tell you anything. 24-hour timeout? Not yet. We'll see. Yeah, I saw your super chats. I got them. 100%. I saw them. But I don't know why they don't show up. They should show up in the live chat. Yeah, that's what it is. They're not showing them here, but I see them. I don't know why they stopped showing them. That's weird. But I do see them on my end. And I have not. Let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can put user time. Yeah, nothing's changed. I don't know what's going on with it, but I see them on my end. Are they censoring you? What's up, Mags Wags? Him? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know why they would do that, but I don't see anything on here. But I'm gonna have to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta go still make some content. No, you asked for your money. Yeah, so I got everything that you said. I don't know what's going on, but I'll go look it up. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the 5 on Fire for supporting me today. For everybody else, I appreciate you guys just as well, being here, being in support of what we do. And we'll start doing more things later. I don't understand why. Yeah, I see the super chats. I don't know why they don't show up in the room anymore, but I see them all right here. I can read them all. And the thing is so weird is like sometimes they time out and they just go to this area. I'll see like the little line at timeout, but I'll read up on it, try and figure it out. But I don't think there's anything at this point that's kind of nefarious. I think it's just probably a glitch. 7:45, great show, right? Time flew, right? I'm gonna get the time myself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow around the same time. And we'll talk about the same things as, we talk about the facts, what's going on. And hopefully whomever, you have, hopefully it takes off these tariffs. Hopefully it's not a bad day tomorrow with the finances, but this 104 is just insane. 105, whatever it is insane. And hopefully the Republicans get some guts and kind of slow this thing down. But thanks everyone. I appreciate you. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. As always, I'll see you when I see you.